3 victories. Gary Patterson, 6-3 against Baylor. 17th season as a TCU head coach. Matt Rule in his first year as the head coach for the Baylor Bears. 1-10 so far this year. But his team has been in just about every game. His team won the toss. They have deferred, so TCU will receive. The last 2 meetings here in Fort Worth, quite a different story as far as weather. Back on November 27, 2015, it was 38 degrees in a driving rainstorm. Number 7 Baylor. They were tied for the Big 12 lead. TCU won in double OT. Today, it's beautiful. It's 65 degrees, sunny skies, and now the Big 12 championship game is at stake for TCU. Jay Sedgwick will kick off. Kevontae Turpin is back deep for TCU. And we are underway here at the Carter. And it's Turpin from the 1. Turpin has the hole, and Turpin gets across the 25. There is a flag down as he is up the 29-yard line. And we'll hear for the first time from our referee, Dan Romeo.
It's going to end up being a big flip of field position here. If this is a block in the back, hold of typically is what you see here. Right now the tip of the ball is at the 30. It's going to come all the way back inside the 10.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Receiving team, number 30. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
That goes against Garrett Wallow. And so now with TCU with the ball, Coach, what are we watching for?
Well, our man Hicks only had 5 touchdowns last year against these guys, so I'm saying ground and pound with Kyle Hicks. Get Kenny Hill comfortable on senior day, but pound it with Kyle Hicks. He's been a little bit banged up, but he's fresh and healthy coming in this week. You flip it over to the other side, Baylor needs to find some answers. They're going to be without their best player, their leader, their emotional guy, Taylor Young. He's their leader vocally, he's their leader emotionally. He was their captain today. That's how much I think of this guy.
Suffered a season-ending injury against Iowa State on first down. The pass is complete to the far side to Jalen Rager. And Rager gets back to the line of scrimmage. Tackled by Jalen Petrie. You mentioned no Taylor Young. Really, this Baylor team is going with maybe 4 linebackers.
It's amazing, you know. Coach Rule, I was talking with him before the game, and they had a couple more scratches. We'll verify that when they're out on offense. They've just been decimated all year, and as you said earlier, they've been in every game. They're still competing, and it's been rough sledding all year long.
On second down and 10. Hill pressure in the end zone. Ball is out. Recovered.
Let's go! Let's go!
And it's going to be a safety. Jalen Petrie, Lenoy Jones Jr. They get to Kenny Hill.
Great scheme here by Phil Snow. You're going to see 2 guys off this edge create this issue. They overload blitz the right side as you're looking at it. Lenoy Jones gets home on Kenny Hill. Looks like they combine. And then Lucas Niang, big 6'7" tackle. No question about it. He recovers the ball, so that makes a safety instead of obviously Baylor getting on it for a touchdown. A dream start for Matt Rule in this rivalry game.
Not playing with the numbers they're used to. You mentioned before that penalty on the opening kickoff was huge, flipping the field position. That backed him up, and that led to the safety.
That's the stuff, you know, meeting with Gary Patterson, not only last night, but today. You're antsy. You know, we've been in this situation many times. You have to win this game. Everybody's talking about Oklahoma, right? They're not talking about the 1-10 Baylor Bears. On the outside, obviously, within the team, you're certainly laser focused. But you got to control the Twitter. You got to control, you know, the aunts and uncles who want tickets. It's hard. And little ticky-tack penalties like that can add up. And they avoided disaster right there of only getting safety.
Cole Bunce will kick off. Arico Evans is back to receive. Evans back to the 14. And Stevens takes it back across the 40. That ball comes out. And Baylor does recover it.
Looked like Henry Black fell on that. They probably would have reviewed that. I think he was down anyway. Baylor's got the ball here. They've got to get something special here out of Charlie Brewer. Part of that is his ability to run the football. He's a lot more athletic than any of the other guys. Maybe it's some trick stuff against this Gary Patterson defense to get their offense going. And then conversely for TCU, between Banagoo and Gladney, their best sack master, and then Gladney had the long, Jeff Gladney, the pick six for 93 yards last week against Tech.
Brewer on first down to pass. He does, and he completes the pass to Blake Lynch for 6 yards. Blake Lynch, what a story he is. A guy who was a receiver, moved to defensive back because of the depth at wide receiver. All of a sudden, all the injuries at wide receiver, and he's back playing wide receiver.
That tells the tale right there. You're so confident in your depth that you move a guy that you're counting on over to defense, and they've just had so many injuries at wide. He's got a shallow here.
He's got it again. Here comes Lynch down the sideline. Lynch to the end zone. 54 yards for the touchdown. What a start for Baylor.
It's just your regular true freshman quarterback to the converted receiver DB back. He actually was looking to the left here for Atkinson there, and then watch him come into your picture. They got a little rub route with the backup tight end Ishmael Wainwright, and there's nothing left. Atkinson there picks him late with Denzel Mims. Gets the pick there at the end. Or not the pick, the block here at the end to Spring Lynch for a touchdown.
On now for the extra point is Connor Martin. And who had this in the early going? Baylor leading 9-0. A safety, 2 offensive plays later, a couple of passes to Blake Lynch.
In a minute and 34 seconds.
In a minute and 34 seconds, and Baylor's got 2 scores. It's Gary Patterson in disbelief right now, telling his teammates, his team really, wake up, wake up. We know it's 11 a.m., but come on. Down 9-0, giving up a safety, and now a touchdown as Jay Sedgwick will kick off. Cavante Turpin back deep for the Horned Frogs. And they'll keep it low, fielded at the 25-yard line and tackled at the 33. The reason why Gary Patterson is so fired up is because of this. There are 32 different scenarios that can play out for the Big 12 championship. TCU goes to the Big 12 championship in 28 of those scenarios. However, Iowa State can get there with a win at K-State plus losses by TCU, West Virginia, and either Oklahoma State, okay? Or Texas.
Yeah, this is where, as a coach, just go back to that first thing. Win versus Baylor. Handle your business, and this is not the start that they wanted to make that happen.
On first down, the handoff to Kyle Hicks. You can hear from the Baylor sideline, get the ball out, get the ball out. Bravion Roy and Greg Roberts combined for the stop.
Sonny Cummey, the offensive coordinator from TCU, going fast here, trying to go fast, getting a little empty set.
Empty backfield. Pass complete to Dylan Thomas. And Thomas, they're just flying to the ball right now. Greg Roberts, Tayon Sells, 3rd and 8 coming up. No gain on the play.
Gary Patterson last night even told us he's considering changing up how they practice because of the slow starts. And this is even, raised to another level right now. A 3-man rush here on 3rd and 8.
Hill stepping up. Hill's going to try to run for it. And Hill gets tackled at the 39-yard line. So they forced the safety on the first series. And now a 3-and-out here on this one as Lenoy Jones Jr. makes the stop.
Lenoy Jones Jr. got him down. Ira Lewis The big fella in the middle, 6'3", 290, got the little spin move just to make Kenny Hill think that he had to get out of there. Great stop by Phil Snow, defensive coordinator from Baylor.
Adam Nunez to punt. Fair catch. Tony Nicholson made at the 14-yard line, a 47-yard punt. Baylor leading 9-0 early. Charlie Brewer already with one touchdown pass on the day. What does he have in store when we come back here in the first quarter? North Texas, Charlie Brewer, a true freshman quarterback. 70% completion percentage his last 4 games. Made 3 starts. Has Jermichael Hasty in the backfield with him. On first down, he'll hand the ball off to Hasty. And Hasty gets hit at the line of scrimmage by Chris Bradley.
And for Charlie Brewer, throwing that shallow route that turns into a home run, that's a big-time confidence builder. That feels like a post route to a true freshman quarterback.
Charlie Brewer at a Lake Travis High School. More passing yards and touchdowns than Baker Mayfield. 2nd and 10, pumps. He's going to run up the middle. Fumbles! Recovered by TCU, Nick Orr. And Orr gets tackled at the 25-yard line. And that's the turnover that TCU needed. Punched out by Matt Boson and recovered by Nick Orr.
Great scheme here by the Baylor offensive staff. He's going to pump both directions and increase it right down the pipe and just take care of the football. Great effort by Boson to get back and strip the true freshman. And Orr tries to turn it into even a bigger play, but this sets up Kenny Hill, TCU offense in business on the 25-yard line. Watch her play action pass here, taking a shot.
Hill on first down. Quick pass. And it's complete to Jalen Rager, the true freshman. And Rager will get 5.
That ball came out again there at the end.
And there is a flag on the far side of the field.
Illegal formation, offense, more than 4 men in the backfield. 5-yard penalty, replay, first down.
For the Baylor Bears, when you're 1-10, there are obviously issues. Part of the issues have been the turnovers, 22 of them, second most in the Big 12, but the -11 turnover ratio, that can really be a killer.
Yeah, that's 23 and -12 as of that one that just happened. Last week, TCU got away with that, right? They put the ball on the ground 6 times and only lost 1 of them.
Empty backfield now on 1st and 15. Hill, pressure coming, another screen pass for Rager. And Rager will pick up a couple yards up to the 28-yard line. Lenoy Jones Jr. with the stop.
Really impressed by Phil Snow and their whole team right now, but defensively, you guys are running around the field right now, playing hard, 1-10. That says a ton about what he's done and certainly what Matt Rule has done to keep these guys fully invested in what it's been a tough year.
2nd down and 13. Play action. A pass. Caught. John Diarse. First down at the 11. A 17-yard completion.
Just a great little job by Diarse finding the void and Kenny Hill riding it and fitting it right underneath the safety. Almost disaster, turned into a big game.
The handoff here to Kyle Hicks. And Hicks gets back to the line of scrimmage. James Lynch with the stop. 2nd down and 10 coming up from the 11.
TCU's been excellent in the red zone all year long.
Kenny Hill, who missed last week's game, was eager to get back out there. Rager in motion. They fake the handoff to him, give it to Hicks. Hicks makes a move, stays on his feet and get inside the 5, down to the 4. Tackle by Tayon Sells, a 7-yard run by Kyle Hicks.
Kyle Hicks loves playing against the Baylor Bears last year. 5 touchdowns. This time he smelled it. Great pad level. Would love to see him put that ball away. That one
Hicks again. Hicks to the end zone. Touchdown. Flag on the play, though. In the end zone. Let's wait to see if this one stands for Hicks. It would be his 4th rushing touchdown of the year.
Illegal substitution. Defense. 12 men on the field. Our penalty is declined. Result of the play. Touchdown.
Try to substitute in the base defense for the nickel group. You can see the last guy right there just not off the field by the time they stand. There's the 12th and 13th guys. And then Hicks doing a great job of feeling and then bouncing it to the edge and just outrunning the Baylor secondary.
Cole Bunce on for the extra point. And TCU responds after the fumble. The touchdown by Kyle Hicks. The Horned Frogs on the board. 2-point game here in the first quarter. Eastern on Fox, or you can stream it all live on Fox Sports Go. Well, let's see how the true freshman responds after that fumble.
This is where you want to run one of your quarterback's favorite plays to get him back in his comfort zone, get him playing with confidence and speed again. Running the football is always a good idea.
The handoff to JaMychal Hasty, who gets 1. And this has been a point of emphasis for Matt Rule and the coaching staff for Baylor, trying to establish the run all year. And he hasn't been shy about it. He said, we haven't been able to do it.
Exactly. It was funny in pregame. I was talking. We said, get used to throwing the ball this much for Charlie Brewer and his quarterbacks, because we're not going to do it this much in the future.
Brewer, incomplete pass, was looking for Jared Atkinson. Arico Evans.
Yeah, defended it with his back just a little bit late. And this is what you worry about with a young quarterback. Let that ball go right now. Ball's got to be gone. He's just a little bit late. Maybe that's as a result, again, that this is a true freshman. You're trying to manufacture experience. 3rd and 9 against TCU at home is a place where you earn some of that experience. Empty set. He's turning the protection, doing a nice job identifying the look.
On 3rd and 9, he completes the pass to Atkinson. 18-yard completion to number 16.
Very impressive job right there. He ran the show, did a nice job IDing it, stands in there strong. Great shot and a good job by Atkinson being strong, finishing that play.
Hasty hitting the backfield. Back at the 49 of Baylor, a loss of 3. Ridwan Ishahaku.
That's Ishahaku just adding himself in. They do such a great job with their safeties. He's a safety that plays safety, plays linebacker, plays a nickel role, does a lot of different things. The one thing he does really well is tackle. 3rd on the team in tackles, and great job. Tackle for loss. Little miscommunication here on the backside by TCU secondary.
Brewer hit as he throws, able to get rid of it to Denzel Mims. The team's leading receiver picks up 3. Ty Summers with the tackle, 3rd and 10 coming up.
Ty Summers was the guy who gave up that shallow cross that resulted in the touchdown. Gary Patterson was getting after him after that series. He did a nice job passing off a shallow route to receive another guy coming from across the field. They don't want to make a living in 3rd and 9 and 3rd and 10 against this defense.
Brewer, pressure, Brewer, sacked! Matt Boson, who forced the fumble last time, gets the sack here on 3rd down. A loss of 8.
Pretty good pass protection there by Baylor in that situation. They just had nothing down the road, so watch Brewer step up, and he kind of creates his own pressure, and TCU just plays hard. Boson runs around the horn of the left tackle, and a great finish by Matt Boson. His final game here at Amon Carter.
Connor Martin on the punt. Devontae Turpin is back deep. Turpin from the 9. A dangerous return man gets tackled just shy of the 15, a 47-yard punt. Kenny Hill here on senior day, trying to lead his team back as they trail by 2 here at home.
Overnight in the morning. Is that the light post-Thanksgiving meal right there? It's impressive.
Kenny Hill on first down to Jerison Stewart, and Stewart gets 7.
TCU trying to go fast, not letting Phil Snow, the defensive coordinator from Baylor, play the chess match. They're trying to set the tempo.
It's Jalen Rager in the backfield, and Rager will get a yard.
That should have been a pull.
Oh, excuse me, actually that was number 16, Kennedy Snell.
Should have been a pull really for Kenny Hill in a traditional zone read situation. Everybody was on the tailback. Sets up 3rd and 2.
One of the best teams in the country in 3rd down conversions are the Horned Frogs. Hand off to Hicks. Hicks gets stopped. The Baylor defense comes up big, a loss of 1. Michael Johnson and Greg Roberts combine for the stop.
Great scheme. Brian Anson there. They start to cross him, bring him backside, bounces back Hicks to the unblocked player. Great stop on 3rd and 2 by the Baylor defense. Greg Roberts finish him off.
Adam Nunez on to punt. Tony Nicholson, fair catch signaled and made at the 33-yard line. Next Saturday on Fox, we'll have the Big 12 Championship. If TCU wins this game here, they'll play for the conference title against Baker Mayfield and Oklahoma, who will be looking to solidify their spot in the playoffs. Don't miss the Big 12 Championship next Saturday at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific on Fox, or stream it live on Fox Sports Go. AT&T Stadium, just a few miles from here. Jerry's World. I'm pretty sure you could see it from space.
A lot of upset fans at Jerry's World yesterday and in our hotel.
Terrence Williams is now in at running back. He takes the handoff on first down, and Williams will get a couple of yards. Ross Blacklock there for the tackle.
Good patience by the Baylor coaches. You've got to establish some semblance of a run game to give Charlie Brewer a chance to get in something better than 3rd and 9 and 3rd and 10, which have been the last 2 third down situations. They check from the sideline and do the work for the true freshman quarterback.
Brewer brings it to Mims. There is a flag in the backfield. Forward progress. He has the first down. We'll have to wait to see what the flag is for.
Holding. Offense. Number 77. 10-yard penalty. Replay 2nd down.
77 Lawrence coming in from the left side. That's him just getting too high. Boson is having a huge effect on this game already. A forced fumble, a sack, and now a pressure that leads to a flag. They really got away with one on the back end. Denzel Mims did a great job battling through the hold of Jeff Gladney. I'm wondering if those officials wish they would have thrown that to make them offset.
So now instead of a first down, you have 2nd down and 18, and Treston Ebner comes in. Ebner, a converted wide receiver, in at tailback. Brewer drops it off to Ebner. Ebner, and that's a good open field tackle made by Ridwan Ishahaku.
Ishahaku and the rest of the defensive certainly the secondary to linebackers. Great pursuit that time. Setting up a third and extra long here. Another extra long situation for Charlie Brewer in this Baylor offense.
3rd and 15.
Watch Ross Blacklock, 90, the redshirt freshman, inside there, comes in passing situations.
Brewer, incomplete for Ebner. Bradley applying some pressure. Arico Evans was there in the coverage on Ebner.
Baylor's gone to the well a few times on this shallow concept. Arico Evans matches it beautifully. That's one thing, Gary Patterson, another impressive thing about this defense. There's not a guy that plays for them on the back end. So that's the linebackers, all the secondary guys. There's not one guy over 4.5 in terms of a 40-yard dash speed. So Arico Evans can match that route every time.
Connor Martin punting it to Cavante Turpin. Turpin from the 23-yard line. A dangerous return man has a block, but there's a flag, a couple of flags. And this is probably coming back, a 48-yard punt.
Yeah, just a blatant block in the back, unnecessary block in the back there by 87 and Trevante Heights, I think is who they're going to get. It's one of those ones you just got to be smart, let him go and let the returner do his thing.
During the return of the kick, illegal block in the back. Receiving team, number 87. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Come out of the top of your screen and kind of come there. He's coming out of nowhere and just unnecessarily and blatantly blocks Marcus Jones right in the back. Got to let him go. I trust Turpin's going to get the edge there on his own, which he would have. And again, backs up TCU, their second kind of unnecessary penalty on special teams.
The first one led to a safety. First and 10. Hicks, a reverse. Turpin with some room. Turpin tackled at the 40-yard line, an 18-yard run. Jordan Williams with a stop.
That's one of those ones where everybody held their breath, a bunch of people on their feet, and then they missed a block. And so a guy made a play, but a good job turning it back in by the corner up top.
Cavante Turpin, such a dangerous man in space, and they tried getting him the ball in space. It led to 18 yards. Hill with good protection, taking the shot down the field, and now a flag is thrown.
Wow, that's got to be uncatchable. The receiver stopped his route at 12 yards deliberately. There was no...
Jalen Rager.
Wow, that's a tough call on Baylor.
Let's see if they pick it up.
They're going to call it on Jamison Houston.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense, number 11 on an eligible receiver. 10-yard penalty, automatic first down.
It's just a really tough call that is confusing. It's this right here. He runs and just runs a stop route about 14 yards. The ball's 30 yards deep. That's a tough one. And again, holding in the referee's defense, if it is determined holding, there is no uncatchable or catchable, declaration. It doesn't matter. Holding is holding. That's a tough call.
Hill, pocket collapsing, throws across the middle, completes the pass. Stewart marked out at the 17-yard line, a 23-yard completion.
Great rhythm and timing there by Kenny Hill. Found Stewart as the crosser. That's the difference here of a senior, very experienced guy and the true freshman of Brewer. Just the timing of that crossing route, keeping your guy on the move.
Under 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. TCU fell behind 9-0 early. Free play here for TCU, taking a shot to Hicks in the end zone, and he's out of bounds.
Got to hammer those running backs, not running out of bounds. Receivers usually have a great feel for that, but great identification by Kenny Hill, giving him a chance. Hicks has to help him out, save the grass, save the real estate there. It's a nice catch in the green, but he needs to catch it in the black.
Number 43, 5-yard penalty.
Pointing the wrong direction.
First down.
Jamie Jacobs called for the penalty. That led to the free play.
If you're just tuning in, that is not Taylor Young up top, number 1. Brian Nance, also a senior, representing Taylor Young, playing for their leader, representing his number today. And without Taylor Young, the career leader in a ton of categories for a decimated Baylor squad injury-wise.
1st and 5. Hill looking for the tight end. Incomplete. Cole Hunt, the intended receiver. Chris Miller was able to get there and break it up.
Great break by Chris Miller, and a really good job of not interfering. You'll see him trigger, come out of your left side, comes underneath of Hunt beautifully and breaks it up. Nice job, almost gets picked.
2nd down and 5, empty backfield.
Showing a 0 blitz. Here comes the pressure.
Hill lofting. End zone. Incomplete. John Diarse can't come down with it inbounds. Raleigh Tejada, whose brother Ranthony plays for TCU, is there on the coverage.
Diarse, a big target, 6'1", 215. They're going to take a look at that, see where that right foot was. Probably looked like it. The right foot was on the line, no question. And a great job running through his hands by Raleigh Tejada.
Big opportunity right now for both teams. 3rd and 5. Hill will keep it and run with it. Hill, let's see where they mark him down. Very close to that marker.
Really good patience here by Kenny Hill. That's one of the hardest things as a quarterback. That was a predetermined quarterback draw. Watch how patient he is coming out of this. Show the look like a passer, and then run it. You can see the offensive line. There's no question about it. It's a predetermined run. Great patience. Really good job getting the first down.
He gets the first down to set up 1st and goal.
Setting up Hicksville here. 6 touchdowns over the last 2 games against Baylor so far. Might be taking a look at the spot.
The previous play is now under further review.
Did the ball come out? I don't think the ball came out, did it?
The result of the play was a first down. The previous play is now under further review.
With 49 seconds to go here in this quarter.
Obviously can't see anything from that angle here. We can see the line to gain, the first down line, the yellow line there.
Has to get to the 7. And with that effort, it looks like he got there easily. But where was he down?
Right.
When was his knee down?
It looked like his left knee went toward the ground, but this may be a look where we can see it. It might be his booty might be the first thing that hits the ground there. No knee ever went down.
Let's bring in Dean Blandino from Los Angeles on this Thanksgiving holiday weekend. Happy Thanksgiving, Dean, and what's your take on this?
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, guys. This is close. A couple of issues. We don't have a look down the line. We don't have a big line. It looked like the backside was the first thing to hit. Then we have to find the ball in relation to the 7-yard line. It's close. I don't think we have enough to change it.
As normal, Dean was right on it.
Absolutely. On cue, Dan Romeo confirms that Dean's correct. He says it stands, not confirmed. But there's just not enough there. You can't see the ball. I mean, there's There's a good argument there, but there's no overhead cam or anything where you could see the ball and the bottom simultaneously.
Bottom, backside.
Backside, I like by
Yeah.
Dean. That was professional.
Yeah. We're just amateurs.
First and goal.
Hill rolling out to his right. Pressure, throws, incomplete. No flag. Intended for Cavante Turpin. Chris Miller there on the coverage.
Defensive coordinator Phil Snow's bringing the heat here. 6-man pressure, bringing the Sam and a Will. That's the strong side backer and the weak side backer off of each edge. That makes 0 coverage. Man-to-man coverage. You can see a great fit and matchup on the underneath route. Maybe had the flag route over the top for a touchdown. Kenny Hill was running for his life, though.
Miller, a good-looking player in the secondary for Baylor. Screen pass low. It's caught into the end zone for Jalen Rager. Touchdown.
Did that ball hit the ground?
Hang on, we've got the officials conferring.
Kenny Hill sees the edge up top. Another little run pass type option situation.
This play will be checked as well. Oh yeah,
that ball hits the ground, no question. Incomplete pass. Great sell job by Jalen Rager. As a receiver, you never want to react, right? You just go. You caught it, no questions asked. That's going to come back.
The rolling on the field was a touchdown. The previous play is now under further review.
The fans here at the Carter are getting restless. They're saying it's the first quarter, come on. Too many reviews, but Bob Hubble, he's going to have to reverse this one. Dean, you got away easily last time.
Make Dean 2 for 2.
We're gonna give you a layup here again. Just walk us through it. Let us know.
This is a layup. I love layups, but here's the deal. He has to establish firm control of the football before it touches the ground. You can see the ball hit the ground before he gets control of it. That's an incomplete pass. They're gonna bring it back. We're going to go back to the previous spot, and they're going to reset the clock, put some time back on the clock
another big aspect,
when the ball hit the ground.
Right, another big aspect about this, obviously, it's a forward pass. If this was backward, it doesn't matter if it hits the ground or not. So it's a forward grounder.
By the way,
Rager must be a former shortstop.
We always talk about Pereira in a 3-piece suit. There's no way that Pereira could pull off the jacket that Blandino has going today.
He looks good, kind of festive, little holiday, little transition from Thanksgiving to Christmas.
The pass hit the ground. It's an incompleted forward pass. It'll be 3rd and goal at the 7-yard line.
Dean, well done with the jacket today.
There's no way, I agree. There's no way Mike can pull off this jacket. He's the 3-piece guy. I'm more the progressive, trendy guy.
We all agree. And we agree with the call as well. So now it's 3rd and goal from the 7.
Gone with a ton of empty. They haven't done this as much as they have in the past. Baylor has liked to blitz this traditionally. They're playing zone right here.
Hill to the end zone, touchdown. Jerrison Stewart in the back of the end zone. Reviews. That one will stick.
Great job by Kenny Hill and certainly the offensive staff of TCU. You're going to see the route up right behind this linebacker. Just a little bait right there, and then the route comes in behind him. Great fit, great spot by Kenny Hill. No doubt about that one. It is confirmed. Touchdown. Things seem right here now in Fort Worth.
Cole Bunce. His extra point is good. TCU has its first lead of the game with 26 seconds to go here in the quarter. It all began with the reverse to Devontae Turpin. And then Harrison Stewart. A big completion down the sideline. And it was Stewart in the back of the end zone on 3rd and goal. 14-9 to 26 seconds to go in the opening quarter on this holiday weekend. Harrison Stewart with the touchdown catch. TCU 8 plays, 78 yards to take the lead. Cole Bunce will kick off. John Lovett is back deep. Lovett has to come up to field this one on the run from the 8. And Lovett gets hit before he gets to the 20. Gets hit by Sammy Douglas.
TCU covering with different energy than they did to start this game off. Gary Patterson definitely got into these guys after those first 2 drives, and the special teams has been greatly in favor of Baylor to this point. Great effort, great coverage, great tackle. Sets up a long field for Charlie Brewer.
22 seconds to go here in this first quarter. JaMychal Hasty is back in at tailback for the Baylor Bears. They hand the ball off to Hasty. Hasty's got a hole. Hasty nearly slipped it. Ridwan Ishahaku with the tackle, a pickup of 11 for Hasty.
JaMychal Hasty is put together. He's 5'8". They list him at 200 pounds. He looks thicker than that. Low center of gravity, physical guy, breaks a lot of tackles.
Well, it is after Thanksgiving, so maybe he is a bit thicker.
No question. 210.
Blake Lynch had the touchdown. Blake Lynch with a stiff arm down the sideline. And Lynch will take it up to the 40. Gets 10. And that's the way this first quarter will come to a close. An exciting first quarter of action here in the rivalry between Baylor and number 12 TCU. And the Horned Frogs leading 14-9.
Yo, check it out, dog. That was just all hype for me. I mean, got the walk, you got the same.
Everett, Simpsons, Everett on FXX and always on FX Now.
Frank out.
FS1 College Football is sponsored by Dave & Buster's. Not all the students have gone home for the holiday weekend. 14-9. TCU leading Baylor as we get set to start the second quarter. Justin Kutcher alongside Mark Helfrich here on FS1. Charlie Brewer on first down from the 40. And the handoff goes nowhere for JaMychal Hasty, who's going to lose 2 yards on the play. Ross Blacklock, 6'4", 325-pound freshman from Missouri City, Texas, there for the tackle for the loss.
Yeah, he's a big-time player. Started 11 games so far this year, and that play is just shows how well coached this TCU defense is. Their whole defense is playing off the alignment of the tailback, and he's aligned where he is right now. He has a certain set of plays, and TCU's just dialed in to what they're doing.
On 2nd and 12, Brewer dumps it off to Hasty. Hasty makes a couple of moves and is able to get at least back to the line of scrimmage.
That was a great reaction by Charlie Brewer. Was under pressure, didn't have anything downfield. They're doing a great job matching the routes downfield and leaving it up to that 4-man rush, even a 3-man rush that's got pressure at times. And Hasty turned into a spectacular 1-yard gain.
So 3rd and long coming up once again for Baylor. You almost get the sense that the quarter coming to an end slowed down the offense.
Yeah, they had a little rhythm going there.
Brewer, high throw for Mims, incomplete.
All going back to a 4-man pass rush this time. Ben Banogu, watch him coming on the loop. He came all the way from the far side. And you can see the Baylor offensive line trying to switch that off too late, and the true freshman goes airborne from Ben Banogu. The hit of Ben Banogu. The legal hit of Ben Banogu.
Connor Martin on to punts. Cavante Turpin back at his own 20. That's good. High punts. Turpin has to make the fair catch inside the 10. A 53-yard punt by Connor Martin. Well, one of the stories in the Big 12 this year, the youth movement. Matt Rule, 42 years old, alongside Tom Herman in their first year. Lincoln Riley, just 34. Matt Campbell, 37. Then you've got the vets. Bill Snyder at 78. Gary Patterson, 57. Mike Gundy. Remember when he was a man at 40? He's now 50. That was 10 years ago.
And shirtless at 50. That's a ton of wins between those three guys right there.
Has his own statue here at Amon G. Carter Stadium. Starting this drive at the 9. Hill throws. Did he hang on to it? Diarce, they're going to say he did. A 13-yard completion.
Yep, that's the one that Dean talked about. You control the ball, then hit the ground. That's a close one, but that's what they're going to say did. And they're actually going to blow it dead and take a look.
They were trying to get the play off before they could review it. Patterson is irate along the sideline, saying we got the play off before the whistle was blown.
He said, I disagree with you, sir. It looked as if he snapped the ball.
Snap. The previous play was paged, is now under review.
This is a thing that's tough on the officials, and I'll take their side for once while I'm up here. But they say when they page, there's a delay. It's this mystery in every stadium. It's 2 seconds here, it's 4 seconds there. As we take a look, I'm going to say that's incomplete.
I agree with you.
Because again, it's not, going back to Dean Blandino's words, firm control before it hits the ground. I think that's loose control. And we'll probably go back to Dean again, but the paging system is different in every conference and in every stadium. There's a delay. The guy, hits the magic button.
It's like sending a text messages.
Very similar. Or a page, a real page back in the old days.
All right, let's bring in Dean once again. Dean, this is not as much of a layup, but we just heard Coach give his description. What's your description of what we're seeing?
Yeah, I think Coach is all over it. He doesn't have firm control of the football. He basically uses the ground to make the catch. This is an incomplete pass.
After review,
it's an interesting point about the paging system.
Completed forward pass. It'll be second down and 9 or 10 at the 9-yard line. Second down and 10 at the 9-yard line.
Go ahead, Dean.
Because, like I was saying, the paging system, there is a delay, but what the officials on the field are told, if that page comes simultaneous or almost simultaneous with the snap, you've got to shut it down and get the previous play reviewed.
Well, I think Dean and Coach might be on like some sort of secret payroll here between each other.
Can you tell my wife that I was all over that stuff and really sharp? And what were the other descriptive? That's a tough officiating term as well. Almost simultaneous.
That's it.
Gary Patterson not happy, but the right call was made. Second down and 10. Hill brings it back to Hicks for the screen. He's got room, and he gets tripped up. Davion Hill. Davion Hill goes for 26 yards on the screen.
Had 3 O-linemen out in front of that screen, and that one should have gone a long ways. That's one where the O-line coach is getting mad at the guy for not selling out. Usually you teach those guys to just run through the more athletic secondary guys or linebackers, whoever they're blocking. We'll take a look at that in a second. Cordell Iwagwu should have knocked that guy out for a home run.
Hill with time over the middle, completes another pass, this time to Ty Slanina. 17-yard completion.
They're bringing pressure up front. Well picked up by the TCU front. Kenny Hill stands in. A great finish by him and a good legal hit, keeping the head out of it, and a big-time shot.
And now flags come flying in.
Baylor has too many guys.
Timeout apparently first for Baylor.
3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12. They have 12 guys on the field. They tried to call
foul
timeout.
for legal substitution. Timeout. Baylor. First charge timeout of the half.
Matt Rule able to avoid a penalty, calls a timeout. 14-9 here in the second quarter.
And Connie Britton star in 911 January 3rd.
Great start to this drive for TCU. Kenny Hill on the screen pass, going to Kyle Hicks. Watch the left guard Cordell Iwagwu on the defensive center player Davion Hall. Just misses that block, otherwise it's gone. Then they come right back to it. Kenny Hill, watch him finish this with a hip. Great finish by Kenny Hill, and a great legal hit there by Jamie Jacobs. that they were taking a look at in the break.
Hill, flushed out, throws back over the middle, and completes the pass, this time to Desmond White for 18. That's the 7th different receiver to make a catch so far for TCU.
Going fast. Kenny Hill feeling it right now.
Hill pumps once. Hill trying to get back to the line of scrimmage, and it looks like he's going to lose a yard. Bravion Roy and Brian Nance combined to bring him down.
Those last two plays were essentially the same thing. They shifted the tailback out for one and then aligned him out on another and sent 4 verticals with a bubble screen behind it. Kenny Hill was trying to take a shot. Baylor defended it well, got the spin move completion and then the sack.
Shewu Olanalua is in for the first time in the backfield.
Unbalanced, probably going to be motion. This is Turpin down here.
Hand off to Olanalua. Olanalua breaks free. Touchdown! 32 yards. Seventh rushing touchdown of the year for Shewu Olanalua.
Great scheme. They're in an unbalanced alignment, and this defender's the only one left for Phil Snow and his defense. It's too easy for TCU. Olanalua with a lot of grass.
TCU trailed 9-0. They have now scored 21 unanswered. Shewu Olanalua, the big back, takes it 32 yards to the house. And TCU is taking control here in this one.
We're talking football.
The Horned Frogs got off to a rocky start, but since then, things are looking up. 3 touchdowns in a punt on their last 4 possessions. And that last drive went 91 yards. Cole bunts. And that's out of the end zone. Time for a Dave & Buster's game break. To LA, here's Sam Farber.
All right, Justin, number 2, Miami's offense, too much tryptophan early. Shut out in the first quarter. They're awake now. Malik Rozier hits Amon Richards on the sideline, stays in bounds, 23-yard touchdown, 7-3 Miami. Canes trying to stay perfect heading into next week's ACC title game. Justin and Mark.
Sam, thank you very much. Here, the 1-10 Baylor Bears are now trailing 21-9. Coach, they got off to a really good start, and now they had 54 yards on the touchdown. They've had 57 yards on their 17 other plays. Brewer on first down, flushed out of the pocket, dumps it off for Egner. And Egner still on his feet. And Treston Ebner gets 13.
Yeah, and what that's led to, which you brought up, is 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 15, 3rd and 11. And that's just unfair to the true freshman Charlie Brewer against this defense. Crafty conversion right there on that first down. Hopefully for them, get a little rhythm going.
Brewer gonna run with it. Makes one man miss, and this time he slides. And remember how earlier he fumbled? This time he said, I'm going to slide instead.
Yeah, very smart there. Sammy Douglas is the guy that closes down, almost gets a late hit on him, but good job getting back vertically, put that ball away high and tight. It's a little low and loose there still for the young fellow.
Brewer over the middle, complete to Mims. Mims! Touchdown! There is a flag on the field around midfield. This would go for 50 if it stays.
When both the head linesmen and the linesmen get together, they're talking about formation, who's on, who's off here.
An eligible receiver downfield, offense, number 76, 5-yard penalty, replay first down.
That's a left tackle, Mo Porter.
Wow, is that a tough one. This is the senior Mo Porter right there, the left tackle. See the route coming from the top. Let's see where he ends up. 3 yards is the gray area, and man, that's 4 and change. That is a tough call. Very impressed by Charlie Brewer and that answer there. Great rhythm. Hits Mims in stride. You got to bounce back from it now. 1st and 15.
So instead of a 50-yard touchdown pass, it's a 5-yard penalty. Backs them up to their own 45. Pressure coming. Brewer taking the shot again to Lynch. Blake Lynch hauls it in. Inside the 15, down to the, let's see where they mark him down. It's going to be at the 15, a 40-yard completion.
Great job. Watch him lean and then take him. Everybody's dialed in. Outside on 17. And Nick Orr is just late to the game on Blake Lynch. Blake Lynch having a day. Excited to be back on the offensive side of the ball.
Blake Lynch, 4 catches, 110 yards so far. Hand off to Ebner. Ebner gets stood up right away by Ty Summers at the line of scrimmage.
They're not going to let them run the football. They're going to make Charlie Brewer beat them. Overloading the box.
Blake Lynch last season as a wide receiver, 484 total yards and 3 touchdowns. First 7 games this year, he was a cornerback, 18 tackles. Then they say, hey, we need you back on offense. Today, 110 receiving yards and a touchdown. Brewer, pressure coming, doesn't see it, and he gets sacked by Matt Boson. 2nd sack of the game, a loss of 8.
Mo Porter's having a rough drive here, and Matt Boson is getting ready for a big-time stat line at the end of this one. Just beats him around the horn. Mo Porter, no hands, tries to headbutt him. Got to punch and sit, and try to make Matt Boson take a farther path to the quarterback, but great effort by Boson.
8 sacks on the season for Boson. He has a sack in 6 of the last 7 games. 2 today. Brewer going to the end zone to Mims. Incomplete. Was looking for a flag. No flag thrown. Jeff Gladney there on the coverage.
That's actually a great spot. Great spot by Charlie Brewer. Mims got to go up and get this with your hands. He lets it into his body, maybe partly due to Gladney's hands. But you'd love to see your big guy go up and get that in his hands.
A timeout taken here by Baylor. Matt Rule.
He saw what we saw and is asking the same thing about Jeff Gladney's hands. He's reminding them, you just called an offensive lineman who was 3 3/4 yards downfield. Let's help us out a little bit.
8:58 to go here in the 2nd quarter, 21-9. TCU leading Baylor.
was talking with Matt Rule pregame. He said that this kid, Charlie Brewer, is unfazed by anything, and he's fumbled, he's gotten hit, he's nearly thrown a couple interceptions, and he's put a couple balls on the money on this drive. They're going to try to convert it into 3 points here.
It will be a 39-yard field goal attempt for Connor Martin, who's 18 of 21 on the season. Trying to get their first points of the second quarter. And if you think about it, you need points in the first half because TCU does not give up points in the second half of ball games. From 39. And that is no good. Hooked it, but there is a flag.
The Baylor guys are clapping. We could have a leaping situation potentially. TCU was in a safe defensive look. They only rushed 4 guys. We're playing defense just in case they did fake it, which is rare on 4th and 17. Maybe hands to the face would be the only other thing that could happen inside there.
There is no foul for leaping. The offensive player engaged the defensive player. Field goal is no good. First down, TCU.
Does that mean Gary Patterson also apologizes for yelling at his coach?
Absolutely not. You can see the four-man rush there. Great effort inside by Blacklock. Wide left.
This was a moment ago on the sidelines. Gary Patterson talking with Jeff Gladney. And I think Patterson said something to us yesterday as TCU takes over. And by the way, we want to go back also to that flag that was picked up as Kenny Hill gets sacked. Now by Ira Lewis.
Great effort again by Lewis.
A loss of 10.
Yeah, if we go back to that kick, that should have been, the correct call was made and picked up. Watch 35, the leaping rule, you cannot jump in the air onto an opponent, period. So that second level guy right there, that's a 15-yard penalty. You can see it correctly thrown, and then they wiped it off. For some reason, that's a tough break for Baylor. That'd be half the distance to the goal and an automatic first down.
So think about this. That penalty was picked up. They had a 50-yard touchdown
called back,
negated
non-pass interference in the corner of the end zone. Those are those things that feel like they're adding up when you're 1 and 10.
Hicks gets tackled. A good open field tackle by Jalen Petrie. However, one thing that I thought was very interesting yesterday when speaking with Gary Patterson, when I asked him about discipline, when he talked about coaching these players and teaching them, he said, if you don't instill discipline, if you don't coach them this way, if you don't make them go to class, then they know you don't care.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And right there, what you just saw, they know he cares about them.
And that's their best cover guy in Jeff Gladney. He probably was misaligned on the PAT or talking about that one non-call in the corner. As Baylor with a great stop for them to hopefully get a little field position advantage. But Gary Patterson, like most great coaches, he coaches every second of every day. It's class, it's certainly alignments on a football field. He's coaching every second, working up a great sweat doing it.
Fourth down and the punt coming up here for Adam Nunez. Tony Nicholson, will he get a chance to return one? Fair catches right away at the 40, a 41-yard punt. Coming up, it's the State Farm Halftime Show with Rob Stone, Dave Wannstedt, Robert Smith, and Matt Leinart in Ann Arbor, Michigan. I wonder what Robert Smith will be wearing at halftime in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Just wondering.
There'll be no maize, no blue. This is one thing
I'm guessing some scarlet, maybe some gray.
Yeah. This is one thing for a developing program, really, with what Matt Rule's got brewing, and certainly no pun intended there with Charlie Brewer. But you have to have confidence right here. You just drove the ball, had a couple of touchdowns that were taken away from you. Really, you got to have confidence even against this great defense and set up with really good field position.
Brewer pumps. Brewer now in trouble, and he goes down. Brewer gets sacked, a loss of 4. This time it's Ty Summers with a sack.
He was looking for Atkinson here. Does a little double move on the safety, a little nod, dig, and go. And Brewer just didn't have enough time and took the sack again. 2nd and 14.
Brewer to his tight end, Ish Wainwright, a former basketball player. Picks up 6. Ty Summers there on the tackle.
Ty Summers, after that first drive when he gave up the touchdown on his shallow route, has been outstanding, setting the edges in the secondary, not letting crossers either go behind him or in front of him. Doing a great job controlling a mainstay, a staple of this Baylor passing game.
The fans here know it's 3rd down. I love this stadium, Amon G. Carter Stadium.
Somebody block Bolson. Early Big 12 Player of the Week candidate.
Pressure coming. 3rd and 8. They dump it off to Ebner. He's got room. He can fly. There goes Ebner down the sideline. Touchdown. 58 yards.
Great job here by Charlie Brewer. Watch Bosen. He just ends up being a spy on Charlie Brewer, and he's going to sneak out late. Charlie Brewer looking downfield. It's 3rd and 100. Where's my back? Find him, and he's gone. Look at that green grass in front of him. Great effort by Bosen trying to get back in it. I bet they rush Bosen the rest of the day.
Connor Martin on for the extra point. 21-16. Baylor has a couple of touchdowns on the day. One of 54 yards. This one to Treston Ebner goes for 58. Baylor, who is 1-10 on the season, they are not going down here today without a fight against their rival.
This is your wake-up call.
All right, now we got something.
These guys sleep and eat everything sports.
I'm glad you're on my team.
Maybe it's just an obsession.
Does LeBron know that you're obsessed?
Only at Taco Bell.
Charlie Brewer is in some impressive company. A true freshman, a 3rd quarterback. You know one of those guys on the list.
All coaching on that one, all coaching.
I thought it was recruiting.
A lot of first-round picks on there, too.
Jay Sedgwick to kick off. Jalen Rager on the return up the middle, and Rager tackled at the 27-yard line. Time for a game break. Whoa. Let's go back to LA and check in with Sam Farber.
All right, guys, number 2, Miami visiting Pittsburgh. 2 turnover chain settings in the Steel City. This not one of them. This is Kenny Pickett, freshman quarterback for the Panthers, taking it in from 6 yards out, and Pickett's charge into the end zone has 4-7 Pitt leading number 2 Miami at halftime, 10-7. Justin and Mark.
The Pitt Panthers trying to go for the upset. And we're going to have...
Baylor was offside there, and Gary Patterson's going to make him re-kick. If Matt Rule's taking a look at the numbers here, the last 5 games, TCU hasn't given up a second-half point. So the onside kick right here to try to get an extra possession. I'm joking, only a little bit.
I don't know. He just blew the whistle saying, hey, maybe we should actually think about that. Maybe they got the IFB into the broadcast. That Helfrich guy, he's not too shabby.
It's just amazing. You know, you look at TCU in the second half. Ever since the first half of the Oklahoma game, this defense has been lights out in the second half.
Sedgwick once again to kick off. Cavante Turpin, a deep man, Jalen Rager up front.
Kicking into a steady wind right now.
It's Turpin from the 11. And Turpin gets crunched as he hits the 30. Still on his feet, and forward progress looks like the 33-yard line.
Great effort by the Baylor special teams. There are 10 guys, minus the kicker, 10 guys in the ball of finish there. That's great effort.
5:08 to go here in this first half. And Turpin is the player down right now for TCU. And that's one of the fears in games like this, where you are playing a win and you're into the Big 12 championship game. You're 9-2 on the season. You're trying to get through. Baylor's putting up a fight. You're hoping to stay healthy. And Cavante Turpin is one of the key guys for this TCU team.
Absolutely, such a great player, both on special teams and on offense. They're trying to do it without Traven Howard as well. They're trying to rest a couple other guys and get them through, quote unquote, to that next week. This is a byproduct. There's so many guys just playing hard for Baylor. Great stiff arm, and a bunch of guys attacking the football and attacking him. It's good to see him. He's walking off right now under his own power. Smart by Baylor. They're trying. Henry Black, they're trying to hold him up while those other guys go for the ball.
Turpin, a threat, running, receiving, even passing. Starting at the 33. Hill rolling out to his left, throws, completes the pass to Desmond White. And White We'll get 9 yards. 2nd down and 1 coming up.
Really nice job by Kenny Hill there. Rolling to his left, getting his hips through. Finishing the throw to White. He kind of mishandled it. That's why he didn't get the forward progress of the initial catch. Sets up 2nd and 1. Bringing pressure from the top side here. They're bluffing out of it since TCU checked. They checked out of it.
Nix takes the handoff, gets bumped, and he's going to get stuffed short. Gets back to the line of scrimmage. Greg Roberts, who's been busy, makes the tackle. 4th tackle of the game for Roberts.
Really good answer there. There's so much about these tempo offenses. Kenny Hill was taking a look at what they did. They checked.
Quarterback sneak. Hill. And where the linesman's coming in, it looks like he has the 1st down, but it's really close.
Yeah, it looked like he got it. Looked like Baylor had a guy lined up in the neutral zone there too, so they'll take the 1-yard game, set up 5-yard penalty.
And that spot right there is a 1st down. You mentioned it before. Well, that play clock is going to be reset here. But you mentioned it before, this TCU team has not allowed a second-half point in the last 5 games. So it's almost like baseball when you're facing a great bullpen, a lights-out bullpen. You need to get a stop right now for Baylor.
Got to play some small ball.
To
bunt,
get some
move
points.
the runner. Yep, absolutely.
Hill over the middle, completes the pass to Stewart again. Jerrison Stewart has been busy today. Jordan Williams brings him down, but a pickup of 21.
Man, Jordan Williams in there, an injured Taylor Young, an injured Clay Johnson. That linebacker, that ball should have been picked.
Hill down the sideline, incomplete for John Diarse. Kedrick Vaughn's on the coverage.
Good spot, good effort by Kenny Hill. You'd love to give your guy a chance to go up and get that, but the right idea under a little bit of pressure there.
Jerrison Stewart, 4 catches, 69 yards today to lead receivers for TCU.
Big wind behind Kenny Hill right now. That probably didn't turn that ball over as much as he would like, but will help him if they have to kick the field goal.
Quick pass is complete to Taj Williams. He gets 8.
Braylon Arnold, great attack. Very physical corner. Not an overly big guy, 5'9", 185, but he brought it right there. Definitely in field goal range with this wind.
3rd and 3. Baylor right now hoping to get a stop and force that field goal attempt. Hill, incomplete for Diarse. Was thrown into double coverage.
See what Gary Patterson's doing here. They're talking about field goal. Looks like they're going to do it. Kenny Hill, this is the 2nd ball. He's thrown into a dangerous location on this drive. Diarse, a little one-armer there. You'd love to see that guy be a big body. Arnold and the Vaughns broke it up.
It's going to be a 45-yard field goal attempt by Cole Bunce.
Baylor does not have enough guys now. They ran 3 guys off, and now they're playing with 10, maybe even 9.
Bunce from 45. No good. So Baylor's defense comes up big. 2:41 to go. Trailing by 5 here in the 2nd quarter.
Baylor playing with 10. It's their best defense of the day. Just misses it just wide right. Baylor definitely feeling it right now offensively. Again, they've been in rhythm here the last couple drives. Have done much better on 1st down. Charlie Brewer done a great job getting into his check downs. 1
timeout remaining here for the Bears. starting at their own 28. Brewer trying to throw the screen pass. Incomplete for Tony Nicholson.
Tony Nicholson, one of those many Baylor wide receivers battling injuries, has been in and out, hasn't been able to practice every day all year, and just a grounder there by Charlie Brewer. Sets up 2nd and 10. Showing a 3-man rush. Boson against Mo Porter up top.
The dump off to Ebner. And Ebner has got the first down. As he's out of bounds at the 40, picks up 12. Jeff Gladney forces him out.
Very impressive again by Brewer, getting through quickly. He got a little pressure. That outlet is your friend, and that's really rare for a true freshman. Resulted in a touchdown on the last check down he threw in that similar right on the top side. For a true freshman to realize that this early is big time.
Here comes Boson again, and he's got him again. 3rd sack of the game for Matt Boson, a loss of 3.
Boson is having the time of his life over here. Again, Mo Porter watch him up and then spin back inside, and another sack for Matt Boson.
I could have sworn Thanksgiving was yesterday, but he's feasting today.
Very nicely done. They started to sub Mo Porter out on that last play, and they put him back in. Hopefully they'll give him some help. It's the same matchup right there, the same 2 guys.
Boson again. This time Brewer steps up over the middle, has a man, Mims, wide open. Mims was careless with that ball. Ty Summers almost stripped him, but it's a 23-yard completion.
Mo Porter very thankful that time for a little help from Patrick Lawrence. The left guard got it up, helped out on Matt Boson, allowed Charlie Brewer to step up and find a wide open conversion across the middle. Gary Patterson was not happy about that.
Brewer goes down again, this time by Ben Benagoo.
This is what makes these guys so good. You have 2 pass rushers that you have to account for. Now they're doubling to help Mo Porter. Now the right tackle getting beat by Benagoo. There's the double team to help on that side. There's the tackle. Isolated on the right side that time is Josh Malin. No match for Benagoo.
5 sacks for the TCU defense. The dump off to Ebner again. And Ebner with a good run after the catch. Corey Bethley with a tackle, a 9-yard run.
Great job by Charlie Brewer, and it was a 9-yard one because it was a backward pass. Charlie Brewer got through his progression so quickly, kind of stepped up and created what turns into a pitch. Setting up 3rd and 3, probably 4-down territory.
To Ebner. Ebner short of the line to gain, and he gets hit by Sammy Douglas. And they do have the timeout remaining.
Yeah, they're going to milk it down here, use their timeout late in this situation. If they would have got a 1st down, they would try to get some more plays going.
And there is the timeout with 1 second. Coming up, State Farm halftime show with Rob Stone, Dave Wannstedt, Robert Smith, and Matt Leinart in Ann Arbor, Michigan. That's coming up. I would say in 1 second, but we had the timeout, so it's more than just 1 second.
1 game a second, yeah. This one's right into the wind.
Connor Martin missed from 39 yards earlier. The Texas State flag is blowing right to left. This would be from 48 yards into the wind, and that flag is whipping right now.
Had the leaping penalty last time. Guarantee that was addressed on the sideline. Should have been called, should have been enforced, waved off.
A 48-yard attempt for Connor Martin to make it a 3-point game, to make it a 2-point game. Into the wind from 48 is good. What a kick there by the sophomore. 21-19. Baylor will get the ball to start the second half. A fun first half of football here in Fort Worth. TCU with a win. They move on to the Big 12 title game next week against Oklahoma. Stay tuned for the State Farm halftime show after these messages. And Busters back here in Fort Worth, Texas. Getting set to start the third quarter, 21-19. Number 12 TCU leading the 1-10 Baylor Bears. Justin Kutcher alongside Mark Helfrich. And coach, this game has turned into a game thanks to the effort by the Bears in the first half.
No question, TCU defensively made so much of that. It's been a big play bonanza both ways. 5 sacks, 7 tackles for loss, 1 forced fumble, but then too many big plays if you're Gary Patterson in the secondary. Charlie Brewer, 14 of 19 for 250 and 2 touchdowns. Way too many big plays for Gary Patterson.
A look at the first half stats brought to you by Dave & Buster's. Here are the numbers. 271 total yards for the Bears. Brewer, 250 passing yards. And Baylor will start at the 25 after the touchback. Let's take a look at the first half highlights. A safety early by the Bears, left the 2 points, and then a touchdown by Blake Lynch. And before you knew it, it was 9-0 Baylor.
Just the stadium was silent until that moment right there. The forced fumble by I'm going to just make it right now, the Big 12 Defensive Player of the Week, Matt Mosen, has been all over the field. Has now created a big-time problem because they have to count for him and Banagoo getting to Charlie Brewer. But the big question is to get points on the board. Can they do it this afternoon? Gary Patterson very upset with his team all the way back to pregame as far as their effort. He could sense that this was going to be an issue. Was getting after them all throughout the first half.
On first down, Baylor will hand the ball off to Treston Ebner. And Ebner gets back to the line of scrimmage, and it's a 2-point deficit for Baylor, which you think is no big deal, but this is the problem. TCU has not allowed a point in the second half in its last 5 games. 5 games with 0 points in the second half.
Unbelievable. Just great time adjustments, great awareness, and started off. That kid right there, 10 yards deep, just made a play for a 2-yard loss.
Ebner, as they swing it out to him, gets back to the line of scrimmage. And Markel Simmons and Tejada with the tackle.
Sorry about that. Those 2 plays looked different right there. Unbelievable urgency by that Horned Frog defense, pursuing the ball. Multiple guys to the party.
So 3rd and 10 coming up. Again, a 3rd and long situation here for Baylor. They faced a bunch of those in the first half.
This is, yeah, they've averaged this situation right here. 3rd and 10, just awful for Charlie Brewer.
Brewer to the sideline, and that is picked off. Ty Summers has a sack, now has an interception.
Great job by Ty Summers getting underneath the route. Watch him come from the bottom of your top of your screen, getting underneath the route. Great eyes getting back to the quarterback. He knows exactly what the line to gain is, and watch the pressure that came to Charlie Brewer. Had to get that ball out. He's got to throw that ball away. They had it covered. Just can't finish the throw as Blacklock gets a big hand on him. Charlie Brewer, right after he threw it, was talking to the receivers. Somebody ran the wrong route that he didn't like, but he's got to sail that one. They had it covered.
Now remember, in the first half, Brewer had the fumble that led to the touchdown. Now an interception, and good starting field position here for TCU. Starting at the 33, it's Kyle Hicks on the handoff, and Hicks gets upended by Brian Nance, a loss of 1.
Phil Snow trying to initiate his guys, ignite his guys here in the second half, bringing 2 defenders off the top. Great run blitz. Sets up TCU in a 2nd and long situation.
Kenny Hill in the first half, 14 for 21, 170 yards with 1 touchdown.
Short pressure again.
Hill stepping up to avoid the pressure, now going to run with it. And he's got the first down and much, much more as he scampers out of bounds at the 14-yard line, a 20-yard run.
Great reaction. This was the one that created the safety. It's Lenoy Jones off the edge. Kenny Hill smelled it this time. Great reaction. Good job protecting himself and getting out of bounds, not taking a shot.
So 1st and 10 now from the 14.
You just feel it right now. If TCU converts, turns this into points, that defense is going to respond off that great start to the second half. Touchdown.
Pass to Desmond White. White trying to stay on his feet. Touchdown! 14-yard touchdown pass to Desmond White. Points on turnovers.
Just a simple 3-on-2 situation. 3 offensive guys, 2 defenders. Des White, get the ball on the outside arm, make it easy. He cuts it back. Great spin move finish. Great job by Diarce, leading the way for him. Don't reach the ball. Don't reach the ball. But it's a touchdown.
Cole Bunce on for the extra point. (28-19). TCU now leading.
Gary Patterson's getting a sip of water. He'd like to second half start by his defense.
Ty Summers with a pick on 3rd down. Set up a great starting field position.
Baylor, Xavier, Tuesday at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific on FS1.
Fox NFL Kickoff, Sundays at 11 Eastern. We're talking football.
Desmond White on senior day gets his 4th touchdown of the season. It was all set up by the interception by Ty Summers. Cole Bunce kicking off to John Lovett. And this goes out of bounds. And it'll be better starting field position for the Baylor Bears.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team. Ball be placed at the 35-yard line. 1st down.
All right, well, Coach Patterson has been on his team really since pregame, trying to get his guys pumped up. He says, wake up, wake up. And then he gets in the face of Jeff Gladney, not happy with what he was doing. And this was right before halftime, and his boys came out to open up the second half. They got it together.
They have responded big time.
From the 35. The pass complete to Tony Nicholson. And Nicholson gets 8 on 1st down.
Tony Nicholson, another guy in that receiving core that has been in and out. He's got some juice. He's got some burst. They just can't wait to get all these guys healthy to make it a fair fight against some of these teams they've faced.
Kept by Brewer. Brewer has the 1st down. Brewer racing. Brewer still on his feet. Finally gets tripped up down near the 5-yard line by Sammy Douglas. A 51-yard run by Charlie Brewer.
Matt Boson is the read. He's going to come off. Charlie Brewer makes a great decision, pulls the ball right there off him, and they get vertical. Knife that seam right there, and then it's a foot race. Charlie Brewer does a little zigzag inside the 10.
1st and goal from the 6. Remember, no points in the last 5 games in the second half. Hasty gets stuffed. Chris Bradley with a tackle.
Little inside zone action there for Baylor. George DeLeon, the offensive line coach, is getting after him on the sideline. He wasn't happy with that. Got to give TCU some credit. Submarine that whole thing again. Boson and the rest of the posse playing unbelievable red zone defense all year long.
Kyle Boyd is in as a fullback. That play clock is down to 8. Jermichael Hasty in as the tailback goes in motion. They hand off to him. Hasty tries to cut it back, and he's reaching forward to try to get to the 5-yard line. Sammy Douglas, who had the touchdown-saving tackle, makes the tackle here. 3rd and goal coming up.
I like the scheme. They haven't had a lot of success in the red zone, so they shifted JaMychal Hasty out, ran a little fly sweep with the tailback. You're trying to get your speed guy, your physical speed guy, the ball in space. TCU corrals him.
Denzel Mims, 6'3", 195-pound receiver. You've got Ish Wainwright, 6'5", 260 as a tight end. Do you try to put it up to one of those guys? Brewer to the end zone, incomplete to the back of the end zone for Jared Atkinson.
Matt Rhule's going to try to get some points here to break that schneid of second half points. Charlie Brewer's just got to keep his feet on him. Watch him as he resets his feet. His weight just gets in front of his feet, and he can't finish this throw. He has the dig route there by Mims and just misses.
It will be a 23-yard field goal attempt by Connor Martin, who is 1 for 2, missed from 39, connected from 48. And that is good. So that snaps the shutout streak. Apparently, the closer is hittable. TCU, Baylor in the 3rd quarter. It's a game, 28-22 TCU. Well, in the second half against TCU, for the first time in the last 6 games, it was a 23-yard field goal by Connor Martin. 6 plays, 59 yards. The big one, a 51-yard run by Charlie Brewer. It'll be Chase Sedgwick to kick off here for the Bears. Jalen Reagor is back deep for TCU. Reagor from the goal line. And Reagor runs into his own man. Otherwise, he could have gotten even more as he takes this one out to the 32. It's great to have the Big 12 back on Championship Saturday after a 7-year absence. The Big 12 is the only conference which guarantees its 2 best teams meet in the championship each year, and tickets remain available. Once the Big 12 finalizes who will play Oklahoma in the conference's first championship game in 7 years, you can be sure the remaining tickets will be at a premium. Tickets are still available. If TCU wins here today, they will be playing Oklahoma next Saturday at AT&T Stadium. Many people thought that if would be all tied up by now, but quick pass out to Jalen Reagor, and Reagor gets tackled by Graylin Arnold.
Great recognition by Kenny Hill there. Saw Arnold about 10 yards off, and that's getting your returner. Jalen Reagor is dynamic with the ball in his hands in space.
Hicks brought down by Ira Lewis. And it's going to be a loss of 2 yards.
Ira Lewis made the tackle there, made the play, has done a lot of dirty work. Has slanted a ton, drawn a lot of double teams. Is doing a great job inside, had a sack earlier.
Empty backfield here on 3rd and 4.
Baylor showing a zone coverage on the back end.
Hill on the slant, it's incomplete. Desmond White, the intended receiver. Jalen Petrie was right there.
Jalen Petrie, great trigger. Watch him here, 24. Trigger on the eyes and the drop of Kenny Hill. Right there. Great job getting the ball out just off of Des White's shoulder pad. Had the distance for the first down. Great 3 and out by the Baylor defense.
Adam Nunez. Excuse me, that's Andrew David who's going to punt. Nicholson is back. He will let this one bounce, and it will be down right around the 20.
At 11 Eastern. We're talking football.
Baylor, Xavier, Tuesday at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific on FS1.
Matt Rhule's team might be 1-10, but the effort effort has been there all year, and the defense has shown great improvement over its last 3 games under Phil Snow. The yards per game, the points per game. I don't know about you, but I am incredibly impressed. Here on first down, Treston Ebner up the middle, gets 3 yards.
Absolutely, and just the sheer effort, credit to their staff, incredibly positive in the midst of 1-10 season. TCU's going to have certainly something to say about this as this one finishes out, but a lot of people would have taken you on that 28-22 mid-third quarter bet.
Brewer over the middle to Mims, who has it stripped. They're going to say incomplete. Mims was able to cover up Anthony Tejada. And now Mims is coming up hobbling.
Great job by Anthony Tejada to rip this out. Charlie Brewer, really nice shot on the run-pass option. And just a perfect rip and rake of the ball out of the hands by Tejada on Mims. And he can't quite finish the deal. Another third. This is the shortest distance they've had in a long time, 3rd and 7.
For them, that's 3rd and manageable.
Exactly.
They're 2 of 9 on 3rd down. Brewer. Wow. What a catch right there made by Marcus Jones. A 12-yard completion. Man. Jones just 2 catches on the season.
Absolutely. And he thread the needle there. Nick Orr, who's been all over the field, triggered. And I think he thought he was going to have Pater pick 6. And it slipped in behind him. Great shot by Brewer.
Handoff up the middle to Ebner. Ebner went to go for the spin move. It looked like he didn't need the spin. He got 4 yards.
Go back to that previous play. Watch Nick Orr, number 18, the safety. He's going to come in from the right side here, triggering on Brewer's throw. Watch how close this was to a pick 6, to a first down. The previous play, the actual previous play, Treston Ebner has to press that run a little bit front side, and there was some space there for him to get some yards.
A flag.
False start. Offense. Number 76. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
The day gets worse for Mo Porter.
Mo Porter's not going to enjoy this film too much. Hopefully he'll have something to celebrate later, but you gotta feel for him a little bit going up against Bosen all day long. It's been a rough matchup. He's just trying to get a little head start. Can't blame him. 6'6", 310 takes a while to get moving.
2nd down and 11. Brewer threading the needle again, this time to Jared Atkinson. That was a beautiful pass.
So good by Brewer. You can see Atkinson giving the my bad. Watch him on the little wheel route concept, little end go, and he stops running for a second. That could be a touchdown. Great spot by Charlie Brewer. Great job by the front that time, giving him some time. They picked up a stunt, a twist, and Charlie Brewer's having a day.
That's a 25-yard completion. Brewer going towards the end zone, incomplete. Was looking for Lynch. Back there on the coverage was Nick Orr.
And you're having a day, stay patient. Yeah, that's one where he's a little bit greedy. Nick Orr maybe had a little trouble with the sun on this one. It's the same route they had a big gain on earlier. Blake Lynch has to go up and become a defender. That should be natural for him. Go up and rip it away from a potential pick from Nick Orr.
295 yards on the day so far for Charlie Brewer. Ebner fighting to get back to the line of scrimmage, and he will do just that.
Great team defense here by TCU. They make Ebner bounce, and the posse is there. Nick Orr was setting the edge, coming from his deep safety position. Ty Summers, Sammy Douglas combining on the stop. They know it's a big 3rd down.
I know this might come as a surprise, but it's 3rd and 10. And a flag again for a false start, so we'll make it more challenging.
Yeah, last 3rd and 10 was too easy.
False start. Offense, number 77. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
It's the other tackle this time, Patrick Lawrence.
There's no easy out in this front for TCU. Ben Banigou is an unbelievable pass rusher, 6.5 sacks coming into this game. You flip to the other side, the hair of Matt Boesen. Sack after sack, forced fumble. You got to help somebody with a guard. You got to help somebody with a tailback. Otherwise, it's going to be a sack from one of those two.
Play clock down to 4. Pressure coming. Brewer gets sacked by Boesen again. That's his 4th sack of the game.
There's no chance at this point. And the Dallas Cowboys are having a similar issue the last couple weeks with their tackles, but nobody can block this guy. When you don't have anybody back there, you got to get a guard out there to help on Boesen, and there's just too much athleticism, too much power. He runs right by Mo Porter.
I believe you said it when we came back from halftime. You're already giving him the Big 12 Defensive Player of the Week.
You can seal it up. Email it to him, however they release it, whatever you do these days.
It's 4 sacks,
it's done.
And a forced fumble. And we have not even played 3 full quarters yet. Desmond White.
Interesting, take a knee.
He just said, you know what, I'm going to take a knee. Forget about the fair catch. I'm going down.
Yeah.
TCU defensively forced the fumble early. Matt Boesen did that. Matt Boesen's done everything. He's got 4 sacks to go along with that. 6-point lead for the Horned Frogs. Mark Helfrich has already given Matt Boesen the Big 12 Defensive Player of the Week because he's got 8 tackles. The sacks are piling up. A forced fumble here on first down. It's Shewo Olanalua who gets a yard.
Yeah, I think he didn't like Ben Banigou jumped ahead of him by a half sack coming into this game, so he wanted to create some separation on the sack chart. Guy's been unreal. They gotta help out the front, whether it's schematically sliding somebody, a guard, help out with the tailback, screen game. They gotta help him out.
They had a season-high 7 sacks against Texas. They've got 6 so far today. Handoff again, and breaking it is Olanalua. And he's got himself the first down, picks up 12 yards. Jalen Petrie with a tackle.
Really good patience there by the big fella, 6'3", 235, working his way through that arm tackle. Kenny Hill did a great job of handing the ball off. There was a little run pass option outside. Give it to the big boy and let him run through some arm tackles.
3 carries for 45 yards.
Field edge here, defensive left.
Hill will dump it off to his tailback. Olanalua breaks 1 tackle. Olanalua is still going. And he is down at the 47, a 24-yard run after the catch. Jamie Jacobs finally chased him down from behind.
Kenny Hill's been watching Charlie Brewer feed those backs. Great decision there, giving it to Olanalua in space. Jalen Petrie came off the edge and basically just got tackled by the right tackle. Matt Pryor probably got away with one there.
The pass complete to Jalen Austin.
Go back to that previous play. Great job by Kenny Hill getting the ball out to Olanalua in space. Another missed tackle there by Lenoy Jones coming inside out. And then definitely has some baseball in his pedigree for sure. Kenny Hill on that last play basically turning 2 to get the quick screen outside.
Jalen Austin, a 9th different receiver to make a catch for TCU today. Handoff, Olanalua. And the big man gets the first down up to the 40.
Second and short there, Phil Snow, the defensive coordinator for Baylor, was expecting a shot. He played a 2-deep zone, allowed TCU to convert there. Olanalua, great changeup for this team with Hicks, 5'10", 210. Olanalua, 6'3", 235. He's a hammer. A big hammer.
We've only seen Kennedy Snell once. Hill. Heavy dose of Alanalua right now. Braylon Arnold gets credit for the tackle, but Alanalua goes for 10 again.
Yeah, Teon Sells misses on the tackle. That hit man in space with a head of steam. Kyle Hicks coming back in to spell him, get some water, and get back in there. Sonny Cumby, offensive coordinator for TCU, doing a nice job mixing up a lot of schemes with the screen game. Kenny Hill doing a great job executing right now in this drive.
Rager down the sideline to the end zone, touchdown! 30 yards for Jalen Rager.
Kenny Hill doing a great job again, scheme-wise. Great job by Sonny Cumby. Finding the ball to Rager. Watch Lenina finish down there to give the touchdown block escort for Rager as he breaks the tape at the goal line.
6th touchdown of the year for Jalen Rager. His dad played 9 years in the NFL. His high school coach, John Kitna. And the extra point is good. His high school teammate was Kennedy Snell. And Jalen Rager breaks the tape. And he gives his team some breathing room. 35-22 here in the third quarter.
Just watch me now. Just watch me now. I got something for you, a little more for you. You won't believe your eyes. Just watch me now. PlayStation.
Well, that drive was a lot of Shewo Olanalua, and then it was Jalen Rager, the true freshman, with his 6th touchdown of the season. Cole Bunce will kick off here to John Lovett, as it's now a 13-point lead for TCU. Time for a Carl's Jr. and Hardy's game break. Here's Sam Farber in LA.
Justin, last year you might recall Pitt beat an undefeated #2 ranked Clemson squad. Well, history might be on the way to repeating itself. Freshman quarterback Kenny Pickett shovels to Quadri Olison. He's in from 5 yards out. Replay confirms it, and Pitt leads undefeated second-ranked Miami 17-7 in the fourth quarter. Justin and Mark.
All right, thanks, Sam. Back here in Fort Worth. It's now a 13-point lead for TCU. Baylor will start at their own 21-yard line.
Great job by TCU there in their drive. See if Baylor can respond to keep this thing close.
On first down, the handoff to Hasty. Hasty trying to get outside. And that's really good containment by Redwan Ishahaku, who gets 2 yards, does Hasty. Uh-oh. Oh, no. This is a rivalry game. Flags are on the fields, and this is getting ugly, and now players are leaving the bench from TCU, and this is not what you want if you're TCU.
Come on, fellas. Wilson, 19 from TCU, coming off the sideline without his helmet, coming from this side to that side. He'll be the first guy ejected in this fray. There were 2 guys right at the end of it. Come on, fellas.
This is going to take a long time to decipher.
Yeah, that's Montrell Wilson. He came off the bench with no helmet. Two coaches, to their credit, tried to grab him. He ran around the coaches all the way across the field. There were two guys right at the point, right at the end of the play. That was kind of a typical talk, smack, back and forth deal. And then it looked like a Baylor guy pushed one guy, and then Ross Blacklock pushed back, and that ignited it.
You know, there's so much more at stake.
Absolutely.
For TCU than Baylor in this game.
It's another fear factor just as a coach coming into this. Again, you saw Gary Patterson getting after his guys to get them to play hard. This is not what he certainly had in mind, but there's everybody that we talked about, you know, the cousin, their brother, their sister, their uncle, everybody's looking for hey, get me in the game, and you got to focus on ball.
There were fouls by both teams. Unsportsmanlike conduct. TCU bench, everybody on the field will get one unsportsmanlike. Unsportsmanlike conduct on Baylor. Everyone on that bench will get an unsportsmanlike.
Okay,
so yeah,
so that actually that makes it a bit easier, because now if there's another unsportsmanlike by anybody,
first unsportsmanlike foul for the game.
Yes,
any further unsportsmanlike action will result in that player's ejection.
As Dan Romeo's pointing out, it's basically like a technical foul in basketball. The second tee, you're gone. I think there's some individuals that are going to be very lucky if that's all that happens. So here's Hasty again. You said Ishahaku did a great job. They're arguing immediately at the sideline. It's a late hit. There's Bradley, 56, talking to the sideline. They respond, and then that's where Bradley and then 91 comes in for the push. Blacklock came in for the push.
That was LJ Collier, 91, who came in for the push.
Surprised they're not going to take a look at this more.
Yeah.
And talk about, there's the shot by Blacklock that set it off.
They're showing the replay up on the video board here at the Carter. And the fans reacting to that. I think what the officials were doing was, because there was so much going on, by giving everybody the unsportsmanlike, it makes it just easier and it clarifies things for them.
It's not a good situation. Nobody looks good in this situation. Bradley's playing. That's
could have been a late hit.
Could have been a late hit, but it's clean. He doesn't need to talk to the sideline. That should be a personal foul. And there's Tecklenburg's talking, Blacklock's talking. And it just erupts. Blackbar is one of the late guys there. Baylor. The league office will be busy on this, and like you said, going into, theoretically, certainly at this point still, TCU has a lot to play for, and see what they have to say about it. Certainly some guys from TCU, and it looks worse because TCU's traveling all the way across the field. Those guys can't leave the bench, and that's again an easier said than done type of situation for Gary Patterson and his staff.
And don't forget, next Saturday is the Big 12 championship game. If TCU wins this, they're in to take on Oklahoma with all those unsportsmanlike. The next one, and if somebody on TCU gets it unsportsmanlike in the remainder of the game, they're out for next week.
You saw Gary Patterson get in the huddle right there. That's exactly what he was getting after his guys and saying exactly that. Hey, we have a lot more to play for. You can't react. You can't be the second guy in and create a bad situation for your team. Both guys, a lot of guys on both teams got very lucky they weren't ejected in this situation.
This pass is complete. And I want to correct something. It would only be targeting or fighting that would carry over to next week.
That's what I was. But I think there's guys that are going to be subject to the league office as well by their actions. The officials just simply, it's impossible to see it all. Hopefully we're back to ball.
3rd and 2 is coming up.
Third and 2.
Unfamiliar territory. Brewer forced out of the pocket. Incomplete for Atkinson. And this crowd now is certainly fired up.
Yeah, they're back into it. A lot of them took off at halftime, but they are back into it, reignited. Brewer took a shot right here at the tail end. Clean. LJ Collier with the shot. He had Atkinson for a big gain if he could have put that on target, which is very difficult with Bosin and Collier giving chase.
Connor Martin now to punt to Desmond White, back at his own 30. And he thought about maybe doing something instead of a kick. He gets rid of it, and this will be down at the 36.
They did a good job defending that edge right there. He was gonna run it for a first down. He took a peek and got rid of it.
Let's go back to the previous play, the third down.
Brewer takes a shot from Collier. Smart by Collier to pull off. Looks like possibly a shoulder issue there by how he's carrying his right arm. Don't want to see that at all.
Charlie Brewer has been great. 19 of 29 for 301 yards, 2 touchdowns, an interception.
Also had the fumble in there as well.
Yep.
He's looked like a true freshman. He's also looked like a true freshman that has a ton of potential. Not a lot of veterans that have thrown for 301 against this team. Screen.
Setting up the screen for Desmond White. White still on his feet, breaks one tackle and gets shoved out by Tayon Sells.
Yeah, it's Sonny Cumbie, the offensive coordinator for TCU, doing a great job mixing this scheme. They've done this a few times. Get a little action going to the field, screen back behind it. Nice job. Good job by Des White in space. Sells gets him out of bounds.
That screenplay goes for 29, and that will be the end of the third quarter with the score 35-22. TCU leading FS1 college football, presented by Dave & Buster's. Will return after these messages.
On the outside, you act like they don't even exist. But on the inside, they're all you think about. Because without that school, you don't get to have that day, the day you wait all year for.
Thanks for the ride along, Captain. I've never been in one of these before, even though Geico is... Oh, here we go, here we go.
You got cut off there. What were you saying?
Oh, no.
Maybe the Geico's been proudly serving the military for over 75 years? Is that what you wanted to say?
Mm-hmm.
I have to say, you seem a lot chattier on TV.
Geico, proudly serving the military for over 75 years.
You okay back, buddy?
Can I cross it off yet?
Almost. And now.
The Volkswagen Atlas with available digital cockpit. Life's as big as you make it.
So, you like it?
Little bit. Nothing gets a reaction like a gift from Kay Jewelers, where everything is 25% off. 25% off all rings, all necklaces, and all bracelets. That's 25% off everything. November 17th through 26th at Kay, the #1 jewelry store in America.
Dad.
Every kiss begins with K.
The Big 12 football championship game returns. The only conference championship game that guarantees the top 2 teams compete to be called champion. Cheer the best in the Big 12 as they compete to move on to the college football playoffs. It's back. It's big. It's guaranteed #1 versus #2.
14-3, TCU outscored Baylor in the third quarter. Those 3 points, the first time that TCU has given up any points in the second half in the last 5 games. Hill throwing over the middle, and that one is broken up by Tayon Sells. And Sells is celebrating, and he should have been celebrating if he picked it off, and there is a flag on the field.
It's going to be holding on the Baylor secondary, or at least somebody on an eligible receiver.
24. Holding. Defense. Number 24 on an eligible receiver. 10-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Tough one for Baylor right there. Had a pick going the other way. Jalen Petrie's right there in the middle of your screen, and that's a pretty easy one. You can't bear hug the guy. But hands inside punch. Kenny Hill would definitely like this one back. Talon said those guys are having a little issue with the sun right now, looking back on that angle.
1st and 10 from the 25. Hicks runs out of bounds, gets a yard. TCU plus 60 in the 4th quarter this season, 3rd best in FBS.
Very, very impressive. The 28 obviously was early on, given our other statistics that we featured. Showing a 4-man rush, zone coverage behind it.
Hand off to Hicks. And that's just a good tackle. A flag is thrown. Jordan Williams.
Great fit by Jordan Williams, just a textbook tackle.
Offside. Defense. Number 93. Lined up in the 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
That's against James Lynch, the true freshman.
James Lynch right there, lined up over the tackle. He's just obviously has to be lined up offsides in the eyes of the head linesman who made the call. There it is. Those are the ones that just, again, make those, the end of these games. They've been so close so many times. A tough fumble last week, a tough bad snap against K-State. 9 penalties for 60 yards for Baylor. Fake reverse.
Hill with plenty of time, low throw, but it's complete to Ty Slanina. A 16-yard completion, 1st and goal coming up.
Kenny Hill reacted. He wanted this one back. Just missed that as they're going fast here in the red zone.
Hill keeps it to the end zone, touchdown. 3-yard touchdown run for Kenny Hill here on Senior Day.
Nice execution by Kenny Hill in the zone read. He's just going to read this edge. Is there anybody there? He puts it in Kyle Hicks. Belly on the mesh. Sees the edge blitzer and jogs into the end zone. Great decision, execution there by Kenny Hill and the TCU offense.
Cole Bunce on for the extra point. A 20-point lead now for the Horned Frogs. Trying to punch their ticket to the Big 12 title game for a rematch against Oklahoma. 42-22 TCU.
How the cast of Jumanji got in shape at Dave & Buster's.
Dance Dance Revolution.
Stadium in Fort Worth, Texas, 42-22. The Horned Frogs leading the Baylor Bears. Kenny Hill on Senior Day, 22 of 30, 309 yards, 3 touchdowns, a rushing touchdown. Trying to punch the ticket to the Big 12 title game. Love it from the goal line. And he's going to regret that decision as he gets out to just the 10-yard line. Week 12 of the NFL season continues Sunday on Fox, where most of you will see MVP frontrunner Carson Wentz and the 9-1 Eagles host the Bears. Check your local listings for a game in your area or stream it live on Fox Sports Go. New quarterback into the game here for Baylor. It is Zach Smith. Zach Smith sidelined with a sprained shoulder that opened the door for Charlie Brewer. We saw Charlie Brewer go down. Looked to be a shoulder injury of his own. Jared Atkinson with the catch for 6 yards.
Zach Smith can spin it. You wonder as a Baylor fan looking back on this season, if Zach Smith stays healthy with all the receivers staying healthy, could have been a much different story. He's got a strong arm, big time drop back passer. Brewer gives them more of the scrambling element, but the unfortunate theme for the quarterback today is pressure for that TCU front.
Another sack. It's Boson and Joseph Broadnax, and that now ties the season high with 7 sacks for TCU, which they did against Texas. And what this also does, let's talk big picture for Baylor, right? They played so many young guys this year, freshmen and sophomores. Because Charlie Brewer's gotten time as a true freshman, Zach Smith got that last single-digit jersey number.
Yeah.
Spring ball, fall camp, quarterback situation.
Certainly a battle. Absolutely.
Nearly the second interception of the game for Ty Summers. And a punt coming up here for Baylor.
On the back end, they finally bring the tail back in to help in protection. The one thing that does do is that limits the number of receivers in play for the quarterback. Ty Summers wants another one.
Connor Martin on to punt. And he'll be punting from his own end zone with Desmond White standing at his own 45-yard line. He's able to cover up. Had trouble getting through the big crowd of guys. And he is able to cover up just in time. On Black Friday, the Horned Frogs were in the black jerseys. And now the smiles are around because they lead by 20.
This is your wake-up call.
All right, now we got something.
These guys sleep and eat everything sports.
I'm glad you're on my team.
Maybe it's just an obsession.
Does LeBron know that you're obsessed with him?
FS1.
I never knew that's what you're supposed to do with that kind of an instrument.
What is that kind of an instrument?
Clarinet.
All right, there we go.
Come on.
No test.
Quick pass again.
Kenny Hill seeing everything on the field right now.
Jalen Austin goes for 9 yards.
Unbalanced formation at the tight end and all receivers down to the bottom of your screen. Double pass.
That's a lateral, and that one was read by Graylin Arnold. Ty Slanina was getting ready for the pass, but Graylin Arnold was saying, not this time.
He's having none of it, and he's lucky because Diaz was wide open on the back end of it, but he just blew it up.
It's a loss of 6 on the play.
Sonny coming, little senior day call right there, maybe a little double pass at 42-22. Now working the clock on 3rd down.
3rd and 7. Shewo Olanalua is in at tailback. Hill with time over the middle. Incomplete. Fans looking for a flag. Not going to get one. Intended for Jerrison Stewart, who already has a career high or a season high in catches with 4.
Great trigger by Chris Miller. Watch number 3 coming to your screen at the bottom. Streak of lightning there to blow it up. As he was almost triple covered. Good spot there by Kenny Hill. That's a good miss in that situation. That's all he had in the route.
Adam Nunez to punt. Tony Nicholson awaiting it. And we've got flags. It looks like this will be roughing the kicker.
Kenny Hill can come back out. He's still going to be rolling, no question. They going for the block, and at least 2 guys roughed him. We're talking whether it's 5 or 15 right here.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker. Defense, number 12, 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
That's against Davion Hall.
Yeah, Davion Hall called for it. There's somebody else that gets to Nunez as well. Might be Petrie coming off the edge there. And they kind of high-low the punter. His target there, Davion Hall's target, is just way too deep for where the launch point, the kick point of the punter.
10 penalties for 75 yards for the Baylor Bears. Olanalua. A good run on first down, gets 8 yards.
Stopped by Jones.
Lenoy Jones Jr. with a tackle.
Great little start to the drive, 8-yard run. Inside zone, big gain for Olanalua. Baylor was in coverage there, expecting a play-action pass off the penalty.
Olanalua again. Spins forward, has the first down, up to the 14.
Just really good patience again by Olanalua. Pressing inside there, getting 235 square and vertical. Cut back. Sets up first 10 inside the 15. They're working some clock here, taking their time here late on this drive.
Under 10 to go here in this fourth quarter. TCU looking for another 10-win season. Kept by Hill. Hill slips one tackle. Stiff arms another. The fans love it. And it's Chris Miller getting into it with Kenny Hill. A 5-yard run by Hill.
Great job on the initial read here as Olanalua is accounted for. Hill gets outside. Little stiff arm of Kendrick Vaughn, the thing that got the crowd into it. Chris Miller, I'm surprised he didn't get a penalty there. Just have the officials set the tone. That little finishing left arm of Kenny Hill, that should have been thrown. The officials got to take control of that situation right there.
Everybody on both teams already has an unsportsmanlike. After the brawl earlier. Hill, lofting one, Diaz. Incomplete. Braylon Arnold there on the coverage. So this is one thing that drives me nuts. Braylon Arnold, good coverage, right? You're down by 20.
Exactly. Yeah, he's right in his hip pocket. Kenny Hill has been spectacular. He just threw that one out of bounds, and again,
there should be no finger wagging.
Right. Yeah. 20-point lead should not have a finger.
And that's
wagging.
not exclusive. That's not exclusive to anybody.
Right. Yeah.
On Baylor. That's for everybody.
Yeah.
3rd and 5. Caught by the tight end Cole Hunt.
Little rub route.
And he's going to be just shy of that first down marker.
Wouldn't be surprised if my man Olanalua is the target on this next one. Now they are not going to go for it. They're going to kick it. They initially looked like they were going to go for it. But great scheme there again by Sonny Cumbie and the offensive staff. Gave him a little rub route. If he could have kept it a little bit more to the sideline, he didn't have to come back to the ball. Sets up the 4th and 1.
Bunts missed from 45. This is from 23. And this is good. 45-22. The Horned Frogs. And TCU, they can celebrate here at the Carter. Cole Bunts to kick off to John Lovett. And Lovett will not get a chance to return. How about the day the senior Matt Boson has had defensively for TCU?
He has been phenomenal. The senior from the Long Beach City College, a Southern California guy. He's been singled, he's been double teamed, he has been unblockable. He's just, the quarterback Charlie Brewer He's out of the game. Zach Smith took a sack a little bit later. This combination with him and Banago, they're unblockable. He's got the Southern California hair flowing, tying the school record for sacks. Very impressive, and he's still in there. And on cue, makes a tackle.
He knows. He was on TV right there. The 7 sacks for the team. That ties a season high.
Look at that line.
Hey, we came in talking about the defense. They did give up 3 points here in the second half. Hasty drops the pass from Zach Smith, but they still have not given up a second half touchdown since the West Virginia game on October 7th.
Great motor again by Matt Boson. Came on a twist, a little TE where the tackle goes first. He looped back out and then got a shot on Zach Smith.
Guess what it is?
3rd and 10. I don't need to look. I was not fed that. 4-man rush.
And that's a new record. Matt Boson on senior day puts himself into the record books all alone.
Just remarkable. Watch his hands. Watch his hands just shed Josh Malin. And then it's just desire, willingness, runs through the tailback. Hasty can't believe he's inside that quickly, doesn't react, can't cut him, it's too late. And just engulfs Zach Smith.
5.5 sacks now for him on the day. That's just silly. The Southern California dude. 52, TCU leading Baylor here. A look at the top 10. And right now, Miami trails at Pitt late in the 4th quarter. And if you think about what Pitt has done historically, go back to 2007 when West Virginia was number 2 in the country. They played in Morgantown against Pitt, and Pitt won that game. Had West Virginia won that one, almost certainly in the BCS title game. And by the way, I think there's somebody in the Fox family who knows a thing or two about that game. Dave Wannstedt was the head coach at Pitt at that time, who pulled off the upset. Yeah, last year Pitt beat Clemson, although Clemson went on to win the national championship. That game is now 24-14 with just over 2 minutes to go. This game has just under 7 minutes to go. And that's Olanalua on the carry. Offensively, Kenny Hill missed last week, back here on senior day. And he has had himself a day to remember as well.
He has been phenomenal. He won a state championship at South Lake Carroll High School, went to Texas A&M, transferred to TCU. He and Sonny Cumbie have been in sync today. The zone read game, the screen game, he has been phenomenal, phenomenal. He's got another big one in Jerry's world next week. A little bonus football for the senior.
Sonny Cumbie, we asked him, what was it like for Kenny last week here now on 3rd and 2, throws back over the middle and completes the pass to Jerrison Stewart, and he gets the first down. But missing last week's game, what was it like for him? And he said eager. He was eager to get back. He realized how quickly things can be taken away from him, and he said it was like, you know, giving the keys to your car to your little brother.
Great story.
And you see how well your little brother drives that car. You're like, hey, give me those keys right back. I want that. I want my car back.
Saw Sean Robinson do his thing. He had the rushing yards, all that stuff. He got healthy quickly. That's a good thing. That's the same thing on the other side. Baylor will have a better spring, a better winter, because those two quarterbacks will compete against each other in everything.
Staying inbounds is Olanalua. An 8-yard run, and this is our last game together as a team, and we've had such a great season, and so many people to thank throughout this year as we've been traveling all across the country. All the sounds that you've been hearing making us sound good. Matt Rossetti down on the truck. We've got Dave Nardelli up here as a sub mixer in the booth. All those sounds you hear on the field. Thank you to both those guys. Bill Anderson has set up our booth all year long. Guys, thank you for making us look good each and every week. We can't do what we do without the help that you guys provide. Eric Faulkner, Matt Weber, down on the truck in the tape room. Foxbox, Mark Winter, our Viz operator, Brian Heath. The work does not go unnoticed. Trust us. We truly, truly appreciate it.
Probably even have to send a little love out to Petros Papadakis. Who? Exactly. He was a guy, he was with us a couple weeks ago, I think.
Oh, that studio guy.
Yeah.
No, Petros, man, we love you. This was such a fun season. Coach, I know you're a rookie, but you're like a vet. This was, you're amazing to work with all season long. Everybody on this crew loves you, and not enough
there's a lot of
to say
questionable
about you.
people on this crew for that very reason. No, it's been a lot of fun. A great group of people, hard-working people.
Alana Lua.
And speaking of hard-working, that's impressive right there.
Yep.
Look at Baylor. There's 9 guys in the backfield with 3 minutes and 58 seconds left of a game that's out of reach. Watch these guys run to the ball. That's something right there. If I'm Matt Rule, I show this to your team and build off of. There's something there. These guys are 1-10, playing their tails off deep into a game that they're going to lose. That comes from that guy right there, the State College veteran. Going to instill and reinvigorate that program. It's going to take some time. But that's a big building block right there.
They'll take a delay of game right here.
Delay of game. Offense. That penalty is refused. 4th down.
That's one of those. Matt Rule says, haha, nice try. TCU just over 3 minutes away from playing Oklahoma next Saturday at AT&T Stadium. As this punt will be downed inside the 5-yard line. TCU will play Oklahoma next Saturday, a rematch of a game on November 11th in Norman. Baker Mayfield threw 3 touchdown passes. Rodney Anderson had 290 yards from scrimmage, 4 touchdowns as Oklahoma won 38-20. All 38 of their points, though, came in the first half as TCU pitched a shutout in the second. And now all of a sudden, this will be on a neutral site, and it's not a far drive from here in Fort Worth over to Arlington.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of purple amongst a ton of scarlet or whatever they call themselves, but what a great matchup. Scheme on scheme, strength offense, Oklahoma, strength defense, TCU. Great special teams matchup. It's a championship game, it should be.
On first down, Zach Smith able to find Tony Nicholson for 7 yards. Charlie Brewer came back out of the locker room without the jersey. The injuries just continue for this Baylor Bears team. I mean, here in the final game, your true freshman quarterback, he goes down. What's next?
Yeah, it's amazing. You talked to Matt Rule on the field at pregame, and I literally walked up to him, and he goes, "Hey, Coach, okay, I got 2 more for you." So your starting tight end and starting guard out for the day because they woke up. One guy was sick, one guy was banged up, but just again, remarkable resolve for their team. Certainly receivers was the spot where it was just a joke at some point how many guys were banged up, and that's tough to develop your team when you have, as we throw a pick, it's hard for the quarterbacks to develop chemistry when guys are in and out.
The interception by Markel Simmons picks off Zach Smith, and that's the 3rd turnover of the game by the Baylor Bears.
Guy that's been battling all year, little jersey grab there, little pull. 2 guys stop on the route. Lynch and Mims in the same area. Zach Smith definitely throwing to Mims, but again, there's a guy that Lynch has moved from receiver to DB back to receiver. Chemistry right there as well. But what I started to say there, that when you don't have, they basically went without the season about 7 receivers down. So that means every scout team guy now isn't a receiver. That hurts your defense, that hurts your special teams, and it just wears on you.
Kennedy Snell is in the backfield. And he went down. Today's game produced, as it has been all season, by Eric Billigmeyer.
Hey, let's take a look here, right? Sorry to interrupt you. Little curtain call here for Kenny Hill.
Oh, yes, you're right. Grayson Muhlstein will come in, but a standing ovation for Kenny Hill. Grayson Muhlstein, the junior. Hands off to Snell. So as we were saying, Eric Billigmeyer is our producer. Renardo Lowe, our director. The associate director, Chirag Devasker. The broadcast associate, who has filled in so well this year for Justin Tolbert, is Mark Samter and Wyatt Kalb. The technical producer, Mark Alsmeyer. The technical director, Michael Lang. Our spotter in the booth, couldn't do it without him, Ken Trevor. And our statistician here up here in the booth. Thank you so much to Scott Lightman. 1 minute to go here in this one. And by the way, folks, it's not the last you'll see of Mark Helfrich on TV. He'll be in studio tomorrow. Oh, yeah.
Studio debut.
He just hasn't had enough FaceTime this year.
There must be some kind of mistake. Need some more Matt Rule FaceTime. He'll have some better faces in the future. That's a face of a guy who's 1-11, knows he's got to go out and recruit some dudes, get them bought in, and he'll get them rolling. But flip it over to Gary Patterson. Congratulations, another great season. Another good season at this point. He wants to turn it into another great season against OU next week.
The 11th 10-win season under Gary Patterson in his 17 years as a head coach. Prior to him, there were 4 10-win seasons in the history at TCU. There's a reason why there's a statue here for Gary Patterson. Unbelievable. TCU will be going over to Arlington to take on Oklahoma in the Big 12 championship game. A turnover on downs with 12 seconds to go. Coverage of the Big 12 title game will start at 12 Eastern on Fox.
Matt Bosa needs to go take a nap. He's been running a lot today.
That will do it. Congratulations to the Horned Frogs of TCU, as they will finish the regular season at 10-2, 7-2 in Big 12 play, following a 6-7 season last year. The Baylor Bears will fall to 1-11, 1-8 in the first year under Matt Rule, but good things to come for Baylor.
No question, I guarantee that's what Gary Patterson's saying in his ear right now is he's telling him, I guarantee, hey, you came out and you outplayed us right at the beginning, you out-efforted us, which Gary Patterson never wants to admit. And also at the same time telling exactly what you said, your best days are yet to come, and I'm sure there were a couple things in there, but hey, I'm embarrassed about how that one situation, an otherwise great rivalry game.
Well, the final score here is 45-22. Coach, it's been a blast. I'm Justin Kutcher saying so long from Fort Worth. Final score 45-22. After this break, we'll take it to Rob Stone and the guys in Ann Arbor for more college football coverage.
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children,